Hello, I am Allison Gordon Wright, one of the attorneys here at Hawks Villafranca Law, and today I want to talk to you about DACA advanced parole. So, if you are a person with DACA and you've considered traveling on advanced parole, you've heard about advanced parole, you know of friends or family, other folks who have done it, go ahead and listen up. I'm excited to chat with you today. What is DACA advanced parole? Well, it's a travel permit that gives you permission to re-enter the country, right? So someone with DACA could leave the United States without advanced parole, but as soon as you do, you'll terminate your DACA, so you won't be able to re-enter the country, which is a really big deal. So, if you're a person with DACA and you're interested in leaving the country and would like that permission to re enter, which again is a big deal, you can apply for what's called advanced parole. So, you unfortunately cannot apply for advanced parole just to go on vacation to your favorite spot. You have to have a qualifying reason and you have to prove that reason to the satisfaction of the government. So, what are the reasons you can travel? Well, there's educational and employment reasons for travel. So, if you're studying abroad, for instance, you could prove that enrollment in classes and be able to travel and re enter. There's also employment based reasons for travel. So, if you had a work conference to attend or of an event that your employer needed you at outside of the United States, they could provide documentation showing that, and you could travel on advanced parole for an employment reason. Now, those two reasons exist, and we do those kinds of cases, but probably the most common is this third category, and that's humanitarian reasons. So, someone who wants to travel abroad for instance, visiting a sick relative, helping care for that relative, attending a funeral of a close relative. We've had clients who've had medical procedures, surgery abroad, things like that. These are all the kinds of things that could make a really strong, compelling case for someone who's wanting to show a humanitarian reason for traveling on advanced parole. So again, you have to be able to provide documentation to prove. We don't just get to check a box and say, oh, it's educational. You have to have evidence that shows that. And then once you're approved for DACA advanced parole, you can travel. You'll be given, a date that you have to return by. It's so important that you return by that date on your travel document and you re-enter the country at that time. Okay, so why does this matter? Traveling on advanced parole. Why do we as immigration attorneys always talk to our DACA clients about this option? Well, it's twofold. First, it's can be really important for people to get that life experience, to go do the study abroad or to, visit their grandmother or aunt or cousin. But the second reason is because lots of folks with DACA first entered the country without inspection. So they were not lawfully admitted into the country when they first came to the United States as children. And that can really matter for their immigration future, right? So, as you well know, if you're a person with DACA, DACA does not put you on the path to residency, to a green card. So far, right? There's nothing in the immigration laws that currently allow for DACA on its own to get you a green card, for instance. But a person with DACA might otherwise qualify for a green card. For instance, if someone with DACA marries a person who's a United States citizen, right? That marriage could make them eligible for residency. And the process can be much easier if you have a lawful entry. And coming to the United States with a travel permit with a approved advanced parole application gives you that lawful entry that allows you to adjust your status from within the United States. So that means if there's something, for instance, we'll use applying through a U.S. citizen spouse, you can adjust your status. You can apply from within the United States and go through really a much easier process than having to leave the country and apply at the consulate abroad, right? And again, if you're a person with DACA, you're interested on talking more about this option, we encourage you to schedule a consultation with us. You can see the contact information here below, because there are some things to consider, right? It can be really beneficial. It can hugely benefit your future immigration status in the United States. But there are, of course, individualized circumstances that we'd want to talk with you about, right? So if you have significant criminal history, it might be risky for you to travel, and we want to make sure we talk to you about that. You'll have to still prove when you enter that you're otherwise admissible or eligible for entry, and there might be some things in your specific circumstances that would make you ineligible for that. So if that's the case, we'll want to make sure we advise you on those risks. Again, we encourage you to schedule a consultation with us so we can talk more about the specifics of your case, and we can decide if traveling on DACA Advanced Parole is right for you. Thanks so much.